I love what I do, and the kids that I work with are really special to me, and I've built really important and amazing connections with most of them, and it feeds me.
I like to think of the idea of planting seeds with families and clients, and acknowledging that oftentimes change is slow and it happens over a longer period of time.
Building those relationships and really getting to be somebody that these families trust with a lot of big challenges and sort of goal set with them about their family and their kids. I think that's what keeps me coming back, is all the relationships with the families.
I work with a lot of very high needs kids or kids with very intense and chaotic family situations.
This is a really intense population. It's, from my standpoint, it's the kind of stories that people tell that most individuals don't want to know about or believe when they hear. They're that intense.
So I think it's really important to be able to sort of voice when you need help, and that it's okay to be overwhelmed and have questions and not know what you're doing right at the beginning.
With this model at Pine Street, it is a private practitioner model, but you also are surrounded by a lot of clinicians. So it's much easier to make those bridges and have those connections and seek support when you really need it.
But I think our group is wonderfully supportive of one another. It's just a group where I feel like everybody really cares about each other, both personally and professionally.
So I feel really supported in that regard.
I think that there's a steep learning curve in this type of job. There's a big push for the professional development and making sure that the clinicians who work at Howard Center are learning sort of the most cutting edge techniques.
I want to be as up to date in the field as possible, so the training and professional development really gives me that opportunity.
Howard Center provides a lot of that kind of built into your role as a clinician. And as a clinician, there's a lot of opportunity to use kind of cutting edge knowledge right there, as you have these really intense clients.
We work with families, we go to homes to do home visits, we go out to childcares to have meetings. We're kind of interfacing with a lot of different providers in the community.
It is a challenge, while also exciting, because every case I'm presented with this new almost sort of journey with this family that I'm working with, of how am I going to go about this.
Another challenge in the work is, I think, the documentation and the paperwork that goes along with seeing clients and seeing families. There's often times in the month where I'm quite behind and have to sort of make a plan for myself, because I think most of us are in this work for the people time. It can be challenging sometimes to sort of manage and juggle how to best utilize your time.
I create my schedule essentially with the families that I'm working with based on what works for myself as well as for them. And also, I'd say the time off is pretty generous.
Howard Center provides a lot of CTO, so about once a month I'll just take a day off that I know that I can and just have a day.
I was just thinking out my plans for summer, and I think I'm going to take four different weeks off. There's a generous time off policy, which is really, really special.
Kind of above all else, I really love the fact that we get to be part of a family's journey during a time period that's so critical for kids and for their development.
I say often that my work is extremely rewarding.
I am in love with the work. What keeps me coming back is the shared community of clinicians that are also in love with the work in the same way that I am. My name is Ryan. I'm an adult outpatient clinician, and that's how I help.
My name is Kristen. I'm an outpatient clinician, and that's how I help.
I'm Jessie. I am an early childhood mental health clinician at Howard Center, and that's how I help.
I'm Whitney. I'm a clinician with family and community-based services, and that's how I help.